Good evening, folks. Welcome to the third Tuesday update from Furness Academy Science Department. Starting the third week in lockdown, and things start to get a bit of a feeling of deja vu. Sat down here recording these videos again, but I hope everyone from school's doing okay, and we're sort of surviving and getting used to this routine that we've got to stick to. I'm going to keep this video a bit shorter, but I wanted to take a slightly different tack because we're on the Easter holidays at the moment. So your teachers will have been setting you a lot less work because the idea is obviously now you would have been on holiday anyway. So, rather than talk about the Seneca that's being done and the great work that's getting done, I wanted to just chat briefly in this introduction about some of the sort of things, sort of the anxiety surrounding coronavirus and sort of a little bit about the risks and stuff, because sometimes you can get very anxious and it's worth just thinking through a little bit about things that can be making you anxious, and I think talking about risk is probably a good way of doing that, really. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about that to start with, because as I talk to you now, we've got on the Tuesday we've got our Prime Minister in intensive care. More and more of the people that will be watching this video will have known someone or known a relative or someone that they know or in their immediate sort of social circle that's been affected by coronavirus, maybe even died because of coronavirus. So, it becomes more and more real as more and more cases are sort of tested for and found positive, and unfortunately, obviously, more and more people are sadly passing away. So, one of the things I wanted to chat to you about was there's been some reports, obviously, of some younger people with no underlying health conditions that have been struggling and have either been critically ill or have passed away with the disease. I remember reading about a 13-year-old, and obviously this is really tragic news. And obviously, if you're of that age and you hear that the coronavirus normally only affects the older generation more seriously, then that obviously can make you feel anxious, because you become aware of these people of your age without the underlying medical conditions that are struggling. I can understand that anxiety, but I think it's worth remembering that obviously this death is brought to your attention because of the media realising that it's quite significant because it's a younger person. But still, the chances as a younger person of getting serious complications and passing away because of the virus are very, very, very small. So the risk involved of a younger person dying of coronavirus is still a lot less than the risk involved on a normal day before the outbreak of a young person being killed on the roads in Britain, or definitely getting seriously injured or killed on the roads in Britain. And obviously, we know there's a risk when we cross the road because we look both ways and we take care, and we know, and the coronavirus is different because obviously, we're not making the choice to be in harm's way like we are a little bit when we cross the road. But I think sometimes it helps, for me anyway, if I'm anxious about something, to try and put the risk in perspective and try and put the risk into perspective of coronavirus. For a young person, it is still very, very, very small, that it would lead to serious complications or sadly, as in this case, someone passing away. So it is right to be worried. And what we can control and what we can do is follow the government's guidelines with the social distancing, with not leaving the house apart from the reasons that have been stated, because that obviously reduces your risk massively, and more importantly reduces the risk to the older population and does help support the NHS. But don't be overly concerned by the reports of the younger the younger people, or a younger person passing away, because the risk is still very, very minimal to you guys. So that I think you need to keep that in some sort of perspective. Yeah, the other thing I just quickly wanted to talk to you about before I go through like the competition winners and stuff, and I've got another competition for you to have a go at this week, and I've finally set a date for a live lesson, so we need to talk about that. But yeah, I was speaking to my neighbour, and she was saying she'd read something from an Indian doctor who was talking about some of the people who are struggling to follow the rules for social isolation, people who are finding it very difficult and maybe complaining and yeah, and having a bit of a moan that it's not helpful in their life to be able to do this. And this, the chap was saying he'd been a doctor over in India, he'd been a doctor over in Mumbai, and he was saying that you should actually feel incredibly lucky to being able to be told to wash your hands more often because you've got some clean water to wash your hands with. You should feel incredibly lucky to be able to do social distancing because you've actually got a house big enough that might have a bedroom or just shared with one person, where you've got enough space to actually maintain this social distancing. Because for some people without clean water, there's people living in places where there's more than 1 million people in an area much smaller than the area of Barrow, which has 60,000 people. So, imagine trying to social distance or isolate there. So I know it's tough, but again, this idea is perspective. I thought when I spoke to Barbara and she told me that, I thought, that's a really important thing to remember. Things are difficult. I think our frontline NHS staff are doing a wonderful job. I think it's brilliant that our school is going to be set up so it can help support their efforts by caring for the people who are recovering from COVID, to allow extra space in the intensive care departments. I think all of that stuff is fantastic, but I think as us as individuals, we have to try and think, this is difficult and it is hard mentally and it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but we need to try and keep some perspective. When people went to war, they were getting shot at, and if you're getting shot at by someone with bullets, you're talking about risks. Your chances of dying go up absolutely significantly, and there's nothing you can do. And those brave soldiers were there, putting themselves in harm's way for our freedoms, and in a sense, the NHS, the frontline NHS staff, are putting themselves in harm's way for the greater good of this country, which is why it's so important that we support them by doing what we're doing and adhering to the lockdown. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get on with some stuff that I've had through and see if I can get this working. An apology that my last video, the sound messed up when I paused it, so I'm going to try and do this without pausing. Right, let's have a look. So I've made another PowerPoint as usual, and straight away my mouse just there it is. Come back here. So, intros and thumbnails. Firstly, massive thank you to Coby-Jay. Your thumbnail's being used, mate, for this, so that's brilliant. People should be able to see it there. And I got a few intros through, and I want to show you this one. I had one through from Ella, Ella Drury, so I should be able to show you that. And I really like this one because I'm going to use this for the live lessons, which I'll talk to you about a little bit more. So if I come out of here, you should be able to see it here. Now, my version of Screencast-O-Matic, because I'm still not running OBS yet because it slows my computer down massively, won't play the computer audio, but I'm hoping the microphone will pick it up on the webcam, basically. So this is what Ella sent, which was ace. Brilliant. So thank you for that, Ella. One thing I would say, come back in here, one thing I would say, which was great, is Ella said that the text can be changed as the lessons go on. So if I can get my editor working, I can drop that in, and then I can use that, but just change the text. So that'll be fantastic. Right, so that's intros and thumbnails. Brilliant, well done. Let's have a look. Oh, competition. So I set your competition. I showed you these pictures, and it was cartoon characters. So this was the list of the right answers. Some were pretty infuriating. Some of them, I think Bugs Bunny for 18 is like dubious, but those were the answers. And I had 2 correct entries, so very well done, Jess Kirby and Mason Wade. Superstars, you got them all sorted out. I don't think any of the staff got them all right. So Jess and Mason, you've already put one over on the staff in the science department anyway, so well done. Now that leads us on to this week's competition, which is this: count to 50 as quick as you can. Now, Mr. Graham, who was new this year in the science department, I'm sure some of you know him, who he teaches, obviously. He set this on the WhatsApp again. Every now and again, there's something a little bit, we do something that isn't necessarily to do with the with you lot, but this was really infuriating. So I'm going to try and show you how this works, and then if you can beat Miss McIntosh's time, because she's got the best time, then obviously you'll get a prize. So this count 50 as quick as you can. Some of you might have seen it, but I'll try and show you here. Look, where you're going to be. Right, here we are. Look. So that's the website you need, and all you've got to do is you've got to tap on 1 to 50 as quick as you can. Now this is really hard to do without swearing, so I'm gonna give it a go now. Get my time that you can beat, which should be quite easy because I'm hopeless at this. And then I'll tell you what Miss McIntosh's time is, so you can try and beat that. Right, so let's have a go at this. Right, here we go. Hopefully this will happen before my video stops recording. Right, let's go. You'll see exactly how this works. Come on, Mr. Barnes. There's always one that I can't ever get. Come on. Pressure. Come on. 23, where are you? Now they start to disappear, which is helpful. 32, 33, come on. 34. Who knew counting at 50 was so hard? Come on. 37, 38, 39, 40. Now it gets a bit easier. 41, 42, 43. Right, that. I don't want a free IQ test. I know my IQ is useless. But, and so's that score. 54-65. Now, that shows you what pressure does to you. Hang on, here we are. Now, Miss. Right, Miss McIntosh got 36.351 seconds. So if you can beat that time, you'll get a prize. Right, good, excellent. Now, let's get back in here. What were we doing? Okay. So that was that, I think. Oh, live stream lessons. Yeah, just finally, because the video's about to end. This is when we're going to do it. Thursday, 16th of April, 11 AM. And this is going to be for all year 10s and year 11s. And it's going to be the first lesson on atomic structure. I'll do an upload on Tuesday, a normal Tuesday update, with some more details. But that's when it is. Get it in your diary. I want to try and get... My normal class size is 30. So I want at least 30. All right, hopefully we'll have a lot more, because there's a lot more than 30 years in year 10 and year 11, but let's wait and see. Right, that's it for today, folks. Stick in. You're doing well. On Monday, we'll get back into the routine of getting your work done like we're back at school. And have a go at that 1 to 50 without swearing. See if you can beat your time. But Miss McIntosh's time to beat 36.351 seconds. Right, good. Okay, bye for now.